Hi, and welcome to episode 72 of Coach Barnabas. I'm Corey. I appreciate you joining me today. Real quick, I just want to take a few minutes of your time, if you'll allow me, to just encourage you on something, as that's what this channel is about, is encouragement. And just a thought that struck me, or I was just reminded of something within the last week or so. And that is, it came up really in a conversation I was having with somebody who is not a Christian, not a believer, is not a conservative leaning viewer of our politics or social views. And, in my sharing my faith, the person basically accused me or tried to attack me with what they called fake righteousness, or that I was cloaking myself in some sort of righteousness that I don't have. And it got me to think, it's like, you're absolutely right. In and of myself, none of us are righteous, but we are made righteous because of Jesus, because he paid the price for us, and his righteousness is ours when we reflect him. And it got me thinking of a distinct truth that we're all familiar with, and maybe we don't think of it this way, but the moon. The moon, especially, think of it on there's a big full moon. It is shining so bright that the light pollution from the moon, you can't see any of the stars in the sky. You just see this bright moon, and it's so bright that it's casting shadows on the ground, almost like, like the sun was out. And it's times like that where you have to stop and remind yourself that the moon is not a source of light. It is simply reflecting the light from the sun, which is a bazillion miles away. The moon is almost 250,000 miles away from the earth, and yet sometimes it is so bright that it hurts your eyes to look at it. And even when it's not at its brightest, like the example I just gave, you can still see it from 250,000 miles away, whether it's a little sliver or it's just, it's not the fullest of moons, or it's not the brightest of moons. Maybe there's even some clouds in the way. You can still see the moon through the clouds. It still reflects the light of the sun, and and we can see it from here, 250,000 miles away. So my point is this: that we, in and of ourselves, are not a source of light. We're not a source of righteousness. But if we reflect Jesus' righteousness, if we reflect his light, even in the dark world, the moon is surrounded by darkness, and yet it shines brighter than any star. And I just think of, how true is that? How symbolic is that of the life we should lead as Christians? And just simply reflect the light, the love, the truth, the righteousness of Jesus in a dark world. And if somebody accuses you of trying to be righteous or sound self-righteous or whatever, is just to humbly say, hey, I am not righteous. I am not. I'm not going to heaven because of my own merit. I'm going to heaven because Jesus redeemed me, because he paid the price, because he offered. He offered me the gift of eternal life if I would just simply invite him into my life and devote my life to him in serving him. Now, it doesn't mean that, I don't have a job, or we don't go on vacations, or we don't enjoy things. But it means that, the biggest purpose, the biggest, the focus of my life, not the biggest focus, the focus of my life is living consistently with his word, with his standard, and that I need to deny my own fleshly desires and be reminded and constantly think of, is this what Jesus wants for me? Does this meet his approval? Does do the thoughts that I have, are they reflective of his thoughts? Do the words that come out of my mouth, are they reflective of Jesus' love? Or are the words I'm saying actually hurting people? Are they actually insulting people? Is that doing more harm than good for the cause of Jesus? And this is a constant dialogue that we need to have in our hearts and minds throughout the course of a day. Because trust me, especially, I admit, driving down the road is probably my biggest trigger point. You can call me names, that's not going to bother me, but cut me off in traffic and drive 10 miles an hour, that's going to test my patience. That's going to test my opinion of the person behind the wheel. I may think things that there aren't a lot of things that would trigger an emotional response from me quite like traffic and some things that people do when they're driving directly in front of me or behind me or whatever the case may be. Maybe you can relate to me. Now, I'm not proud of that. You hear me laughing because it's silly and it's stupid, but it's not funny in the sense that, that's an area I need to work on. That's an area that I haven't surrendered completely to Jesus, to where somebody cuts me off and I'm just like, that's okay. That's all right. I had to slam on my brakes and almost put my face through my windshield, but it's okay. You're a child of God. You're created in His image. He loves you, and so do I. Working on it. But that's the thing, is am I a reflection of Jesus' love, His light, His righteousness, His goodness? Am I? Are you? These are the things we need to remember and be mindful of throughout our day in all aspects. Okay, and let's be honest with ourselves, and let's invite Jesus to inspect us inside and out and say, Lord, if there's anything that is impure, if there's anything unclean, create in me a clean heart, and just remove the things that don't belong. Let's do some of that cleaning out of things that just don't belong. So that's my encouragement to you today. Be the moon, reflect the sun, S-O-N. See what I did there? Reflect the light of Jesus throughout your day. So I wish that upon you. I pray that for you, not just today, but every day. But let's just do it one day at a time. Let's take today. Reflect the light of Jesus today. All right? Be encouraged. Be an encourager. I look forward to talking again real soon. Thanks for joining me. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.